My fellow nerds, my name is Jim Heskett, better known as GM Jim, the caretaker of the Wizards and the Wordslingers. I come to you today with a desperate plea to stop a grave injustice from happening. I'm going to do everything I can to appeal to your sense of reason and decency. Let's talk about it. In 2024 and 25, Wizards of the Coast released new core books to update the rules that had been released in 2014. The 2014 rules are commonly known as the 5th edition of the game. This iterates from 4th edition, released in 08, 3rd edition revised in 2003, 3rd edition in 2000, 2nd edition revised in 1995, 2nd edition in 1989, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons in 1977, and the original in 1974, and I might have missed one or two in there. Now, when Wizards of the Coast published new rules for D&D in 2014, did they call it 5th edition? No, they did not exactly. They officially called it Dungeons & Dragons. We, the fans, dubbed it 5e, which is a little weird since there have clearly been more than 5 editions, but I'm not here today to argue about what constitutes an edition or not. I'm here to talk about numbering, semantics, nerd stuff. Marketing people hate editions and version numbering. They just want it to be called iPhone, without the number on the end because they think it's cleaner and sexier. However, marketing people are dumb. They don't realize that if you have two products named the same thing, it's going to confuse customers. Cleanliness is not above clarity, at least in my opinion. So we call the 2014 rules 5th edition because that's simple and clear for us. And people at Wizards refer to the 2014 rules as 5e much of the time too, even though it's not official. They also seek clarity in their communication. The marketing around the D&D 24 rules update has been vast and confounding. Since older books like Curse of Strahd and Tasha's Cauldron of Everything are still selling well, they don't want to kneecap themselves by declaring the 2014 rules null and void, which would happen with the announcement of a new edition. So they had to market this new D&D as fully compatible with old stuff or risk sales of existing material plummeting. However, the marketing around 2024 D&D also makes a contradictory promise about how it's all new and revolutionary. And they have to do this too, because if you release a new book and claim it's 1% better, no one is going to think it worth a purchase. So they have to toe this line of, it's the same D&D you know and love, but it's also all new and revolutionary, and we fixed the monk! And now we come to the issue of the name. Across the TTRPG content creator community, we have not settled on a name for the new rules update. Wizards of the Coast's marketing is determined to keep it known just as D&D without the addition, but we still have to be able to differentiate this new D&D from any of the old D&Ds. So I've heard people refer to this update as 2024 D&D, 5.24 D&D, 5e 2e D&D, 5e Rev, or 5R. Because without an official name from the product owners, it's the Wild West out here. Anyone can call it whatever they want. But I believe that the one true name, the ultimate name of this edition of Dungeons & Dragons is 5.5. It's a simple revision and update of the 2014 5th edition rules, so it doesn't feel like it's fair to call it 6e. It's halfway between editions like 3.5 was to 3rd edition. It's a half edition, and so calling it 5.24 or 5R or anything else is a misnomer. That will only cause confusion since we as a creator community can't seem to settle on one name. And that is why I'm here before you today humbly asking you to accept my proposal. 5.5. That's what we call it because that is its true name, and now go tell the world. Share this video proudly on your socials with the hashtag 5.5. Demand that everyone else conform to this naturally superior standardized naming convention, and once we've all aligned on the proper nomenclature, we can enter into a bold, new era of tabletop gaming. The 5.5 era, right? Look, I'm just a man with a dream of uniting the hobby under the banner of using the correct terms. And while we're at it, some of you are using less and fewer incorrectly, also amount and number. Actually, let's not get into that. I'm trying not to rant here. Anyway, let's bring everyone together and harmonize. And if you wanted to make me king of Dungeons & Dragons in the process, I would reluctantly accept, because my responsibility is to the people of the tabletop role-playing hobby. So let's stop wallowing in this naming convention limbo and get in line behind your one true king, me. I'm GM Jim Heskett, and I approve this message.